What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
My name is Jeff.
And I hope you're all well. Hopefully you're having an amazing day. We've got another trophy list review. It's going to be a banger. Let's do this. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we are reviewing the list of FTfancurtis. Taking advantage of that Patreon privilege. Thank you so much for coming on board, buddy. And also thank you so much to Arzodin as well, who's also come on board since last time. It really means a lot. And thank you so much to all of the patrons as well. The additional support goes a long way. So straight in with the stats then. I mean, it is a shorter list, as you can see at kind of first glance. A little smaller than the last few, at least, but I'm really looking forward to it. As I said to Curtis before recording, you know, these smaller lists are sometimes better for me because we can maybe delve into things in a little more detail rather than kind of skipping through. So we've got trophy level 311 to start with, 2,183 trophies, 46 platinums, 227 gold, 490 on the silver and 1,420 bronze. Curtis has also made me aware that there may be some anime games in there where I may not know them, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's in, what I do know, what I don't. It's going to be very interesting, but apologies in advance, of course, if there are games in there that I'm not going to be able to sort of discuss about, if you like, that you really wanted me to speak about. Yeah, there's only enough time in the day. There's only so many games that one can play, you know. And also, before we get on with the rest of the stats and then ultimately the trophy list, if I do sound a little different, I do apologise. I did on the back of the last video, if you guys remember me talking about how I'd figured out the kind of USB situation with my laptop. I have tried kind of the multi-port USB with the mic. It kind of reset, if you like, all the settings that I'd done through OBS. And it sounded horrendous. I couldn't quite get it right. It was taking a long time. So just until I figured that out, I've come back to the headset, and then when I've plugged the headset back in, it had reset the settings for that as well. So I've kind of adjusted it to where I believe I had it before, but if I do sound a little bit different, hands up, apologies, and you know, we will fix it moving forward. As I say, the ultimate goal is getting a PC so we can have it set up and kind of everything in play all the time, whereas at the minute I put my laptop on my desk, I take it away when I'm not using it, and then it's just a bit of a faff on, isn't it? So we need something that's kind of fixed and in place all the time, really. But yeah, enough waffling. You know, we do enough of that on the channel. Games played 53, completed 48, which is very impressive. So that's giving Curtis a 95.8% completion rate, which is absolutely unbelievable. 108 unearned trophies from 5 games. So I'm very interested to see where those are from then, because although 108 isn't a lot, you guys know that, it's certainly a lot less than I have, but over 5 games, that is quite a lot, I'd say. So it might just be that you've maybe just started something, quite possibly. I mean, as I'm chatting, I can see Infinite Warfare running across the screen as recent trophies, so maybe it's a lot of them. I mean, I've got about 50 unearned just from zombies alone or something like that, so it could be that most of them are from Call of Duty. But yeah, we find out, don't we, as we go. 12.0 trophies per day. What? That is insane. That's mad. That's very impressive, by the way. I mean, I'm going to guess that you're not playing easy games as well, looking at I know the ratios from gold to bronze don't always tell us everything anymore, because there are some games now that are doing like 8 million bronze and then a platinum. But I've got a good feeling that there aren't grubs in here, so that is insane. And if you can kind of keep that up somehow, that would be unbelievable. 420 views on the profile, world rank 293,400th, and in the mighty UK you are 35,649th. Yeah, so we move on. Let's have a look. As I say, we've got 53 games to discuss, talk about, so maybe we can talk to them. Can't talk to the games, can't even talk about them. Dear me. Anyway, we move. So 36 Fragments of Midnight. Again, something we talk a lot about on the channel, as it tends to be one of the first games that always comes up. But yeah, we can talk about them a bit more, can't we? We might have some first viewers, here. So yeah, you're not going to have heard me before repeating myself a million times, so it's all new, isn't it? So 36 Fragments of Midnight, it is an easy game. It is very easy. It doesn't take very long. As you can see, Curtis has done this in 45 minutes. But yeah, it's not a grub, it's not a shovelware in my eyes. There's still a challenge to it, hence the 3 out of 10, which in most cases isn't a high difficulty, is it? But it still does require a little bit of patience, especially getting those 36 fragments within like 6 minutes. Because you are rushing a little bit, you're kind of prone to dying, I suppose, on the several traps that there are. But it's a fun little game. I quite enjoyed it. So yeah, straight away, I don't recognise Aerial Knights Never Yield. It doesn't look like it's going to be something that's too difficult, looking at the time taken, and then the rarity, of course. And although it says 18 hours, we don't know kind of what the gameplay time is. There could be sleep in between that or anything. So it doesn't look like that's too difficult. And then I don't actually recognise the next two as well. So we've got Black Clover Quartet Nights, 16 hours 53 minutes, but that's a much more respectable percentage at 23.69. And then Brain Beats, yeah, it's only 16 trophies, done that in 11 hours 7 minutes, just under 50% rarity. I feel like I've heard of it, but I couldn't honestly say too much on kind of what it is. So to some games I actually know of, not many of them, but we've got a couple of Call of Duty games on there, which you have the platinum for each of them, which is awesome. So you've got a lovely ultra rare there with Black Ops Cold War, which is a 7 out of 10 difficulty, around 70 hours to do that. And then yeah, 2.18%, lovely ultra rare. You've done Infinite Warfare, which is awesome. So I was kind of right a little bit with there's probably not 50, is there? There's not that many trophies in it, but yeah, 33 of them are literally from this one game, So you're clearly working on the on the DLCs now. Look at that, 1.13%. That's unbelievable, and we'll always talk about it at the end when we go down the right hand side, but you can see straight away it's the rarest trophy for Curtis as well, which is absolutely awesome. Good going, my man, good going. And you've got the platinum for Vanguard as well, which is a little easier at 5 out of 10, but still requires a lot of effort, and just outside being an ultra rare, which is a shame, but yeah, very nice one to have. So the first one, which is a non-platinum then, Coaster. Not played this, don't know anything about it. I could guess what it is, but yeah, it's just 100%. 1 hour 38 minutes, doesn't look like it's too long at all. And then we've got Dark Knights with Poe and Munro. I don't know what that is either. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, I can sense a little theme. I mean, as I look further down the page, there's certainly some games I know of. Making me look bad, this, Curtis. What are you doing? But yeah, as you guys know, with other lists I've done, there's always games that we can't play everything, can we? There just isn't enough time, as I said. So yeah, I don't know what that is, so I can't talk about that one. I know what Dragon Quest Heroes is. So what's this? Dragon Quest Heroes: The World's Trees, War, and the Blight Below. Yeah, I've not actually played a Dragon Quest game. I've got Dragon Quest 11 just behind me, which is still sat there unplayed. One of the games that are next on my list. It's just kind of being able to commit to over 100 hours on a game when I've got so much going on. So I know little bits about them, not this one in particular. But as I can see there, it's something that you're playing at the moment. So straight away, again, there's another 32, trophies from the unearned. So it's kind of making sense. You've got ongoing stuff. So I'm assuming that'll come right back down sooner rather than later. Five Nights at Freddy's, you got the 100%. Very, very well done. And Gabuchi. I don't know what that is as well. So yeah, I'm not doing very well here, am I? But yeah, we've got a little flurry of games I do know, so this is okay now. So Goat Simulator, ton of fun. Yeah, very, very easy platinum. It really only gets its 5 out of 10 difficulty because of Flappy Goat. I'm actually going to go in just out of curiosity, because I haven't looked at it for some time, I'm going to assume that Flappy Goat is the rarest one. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. It does cause people a couple of headaches. You know, reading what people kind of say in communities and also in the server and things, it does cause people a few problems, but as I've mentioned plenty of times, it was something that came quite quickly for me, which I was thankful for, because it's been quite rage inducing for a lot of people. But yeah, really fun. Bonkers how they've gone from this to Goat Simulator 3. I don't know how that works, but I will play it at some point. Goat Simulator 3, bit more fun, you know, just to play something where you don't have to take it too seriously. I think that's good sometimes, you know, in the middle of all these huge, you know, taxing games, which are quite a lot on your mind and your hands and everything. I think sometimes it's good just to sit back and have a little bit of fun, isn't it? God of War, masterpiece, as we know. Be nice to see you get Ragnarok on there as well, just to join it. I think, as I've said previously as well, I think I prefer this one maybe a little bit over Ragnarok, but yeah, they're both absolutely, you know, sensational out there. Yeah, not too difficult. I mean, yeah, 4 out of 10 is probably fair. I think the only real challenge is Sigrun at the end. A few annoying collectibles, but nothing you can't get with a guide. So we've got Infamous First Light and Second Son, which I think are very solid games, and as I've said a lot, I would love to see what else Sucker Punch could do with the Infamous series, kind of seeing where they've gone in terms of performance, like how beautiful Ghost of Tsushima looked, you know, kind of what they could do now, because this looked amazing, didn't it, when PS4 launched, so I can only imagine, you know, what they may do with another Infamous title. It'd be great. So Inksplosion, kind of the first. I know we've had 36 fragments and there were some others in there with high rarities that I didn't know of. This is probably the first easy one. I mean, I say that, it's still one of those where, I mean, it's not a jumping game, you're not just pressing one button over and over, it's not Mayo, you know, you still do need a little bit of concentration. There's also an awful lot going on the screen. Because of the colours, it can kind of, you know, it's very distracting on your eye when you're having to avoid enemies and what have you. But yeah, it's relatively easy, as you can see. 9 minutes 27 seconds. It's not challenging at all, but you still need to put some effort into it. Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. You've done that in 1 day, 20 hours. Very nice. Just Cause 3. Really enjoy these games. You know, I feel like I say the same things as always, but it is an awful lot of fun. The stories are a bit meh, you know, there's nothing, you know, too crazy in terms of the narrative. Who was it, Di Ravello? It's been a long time since I've played Just Cause 3. You know, it's usual standard story, but you're in there, you're playing Just Cause for the carnage, aren't you? The bombastic action, that's really the reason you buy Just Cause. You're not buying it for the narrative at all. 6 out of 10. Again, I'm going to have a look at this. It's probably, if I was going to guess before I go in, because it's been a long, it's got to be the gears, hasn't it? Getting 5 gears in all challenges. Because I don't remember anything really posing a kind of a problem with Just Cause. Obviously the 100%, which comes as part of doing everything, so that makes sense that it's above it. But yeah, earn 5 gears in every challenge, so that doesn't surprise me. It's yeah, just some of them do take a little bit of practice. There's certainly some of the, like the wingsuit challenges and things like that, where, you know, I have to do them a couple of times just to kind of get my trajectory right, if you like, in certain sections. But other than that, it's not too bad at all. I don't know if a 6 out of 10 is justified, really. I think 4 or 5 is probably more realistic. But yeah, I think 6 is, I was going to say generous, but I don't know if you would use generous as the word for this. But yeah, probably 4 or 5, I would say. Right, so I definitely don't know what this is. Kawaii Desu Desu? Yeah, I don't know what that is, unfortunately. Sorry, Curtis. But yeah, 4 days, 8 hours. It's a 47.49% rarity. And then I don't know, learn hiragana either, which, looking at that, we're learning a language. Yeah, it looks very easy. 16 minutes 35 seconds, and we've got a 98.58% rarity, but yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Only 2 Lego games, and that comes in the form of Lego DC Supervillains and also Lego Movie, the video game as well. Yeah, I mean, 2 of the weaker ones, in my opinion. I think if you're gonna maybe go for a Lego game, maybe get Lego Marvel Superheroes in there, Lego Jurassic World. They're always 2 solid ones to try on PS4 if you wanted to add another one, to the list. That's certainly my recommendation anyway. Nice to see Life is Strange on there, and we've got all of them, which is awesome. I love the Life is Strange series. Of course, looking at this, again, there's the another 29 trophies missing from Life is Strange 2, which you are playing at the moment. Popped a trophy yesterday, as of recording this. So yeah, another one you're playing at the moment. So I'm assuming we've got 100% profile on our hands, really. Once you chip away at these current games, that's going to be nice to have, Curtis. It really, really is. But yeah, such a great series. I am still missing True Colours, which I'm now going to play, having access to it. But yeah, I really, really enjoy it. The storytelling is just out of this world. Some sections certainly are better written than some, big TV shows I've watched. I think it's that good. It really, really is exceptional. Becky's just played Life is Strange for the first time. I recommended she give it a go. And, for someone who's not a huge video game fan, she's kind of getting into them now. She absolutely loved it. And I think that's testament to how strong the writing is. It really, really is. So yeah, Marvel Spider-Man, only the one kind of Marvel game there. A solid one, probably the best one to have. I think certainly from like Miles Morales, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, some of these other Marvel stuff that there's been recently. This is definitely the best one, isn't it? And I'm sure you guys will agree. A very, very, I want to say very, very easy. You still need to be able to work a controller, but it's, they're generally easy platinum. Certainly a go-to, I would say, for most kind of gamers, trophy hunters. Even if you're not a huge fan of Spider-Man or superheroes, I think it's a really, really good game to play. It's a very nice trophy list, very easy, straightforward. But yeah, such a fun game, isn't it? But yeah, nice to see you've got 100%. Some of the DLC, a little annoying. Screwball can get out of here, honestly. Her voice, so irritating, and goddamn challenges. I just wanted them over and done with. Minecraft, which is, I think, look, if I've counted the numbers in my head, I think that's pretty much the unearned trophies, isn't it? But this is from December, but I'm assuming you're going to clear that up, get that 100% back. 127 trophies, wow. That's a lot of trophies. That's a lot of trophies. Minecraft Set 2 done, 100%, of course, all 11 trophies earned from that, which is awesome. And then, I did overlook that there's one trophy missing from Minecraft Dungeons. What is that? Let's have a look. I've never played it, so I don't know what it means, whatever it's going to say, but I'm very curious. Very, very curious. All the way to the very bottom, of course. Defeat 100 tower guards. Again, I can't really say because I've not played. I don't know if it is difficult. I know it says 2.08%. It's a nice ultra rare, but it might just be grindy. Tower guards might only spawn so often. It could be long. Who knows? I'm just guessing, but I'm assuming that's something that you are gonna box off in no time. And we've gone too far. It's because the list's so small. I'm expecting to scroll all the way down to M, but yeah, we're there already. Awesome. So My Hero One's Justice 2, as you can guess, I haven't played it. Another one I haven't. But very, very well done on doing that. 1 month and a week. It's a 6.93% rarity there, so I'm assuming there's a challenge involved. And then another few that I haven't played and don't know too much about, so apologies again, Curtis. So we've got, what have we got? So there's a few of them, isn't there? One Piece Unlimited World Red Deluxe Edition. We've got One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, and then One Piece World Seeker. So yeah, I don't know an awful lot about these. Just out of curiosity, does this one have a trophy guide. I'm just curious with it being a 6.93%, so I can maybe give you the props that you deserve. So 5 out of 10 difficulty, 50 hours. So yeah, it certainly looks like there's a challenge involved there. If it's a 5 out of 10, you know. But yeah, I certainly don't know what these are. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on them, aren't I? You know, in an ideal world, if lists weren't so long, I'd like to, you know, research these things, you know, beforehand, so I could go into a lot more detail. But then on the flip side to that as well, I don't want to have looked through a list to then research the games before I look at it. I do like to kind of have that surprise in seeing what you've played. And as I've always said, I have a brief look at it, you know, when I get the request through, just to make sure it's certainly something we can make a video on. I don't want to see it, you know. Generally, I want that surprise, you know. So Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville, and I say it every time I see it, but the time throws me off every time. It's an ultra rare, probably because of, well, it's certainly not the difficulty, is it, at 3 hours 10, but more the time needed. 130 hours, blimey. Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, which you also have. Does this have a guide? I'm curious as to. So what I'll have to start doing is with the extension, making sure we've got all these guides set up ready again. So yeah, certainly nothing like the other ones. So that rarity actually surprises me a little, if I'm being honest. 6.99, not quite an ultra rare like the other one, but considering it's a 3 out of 10 at 25 hours, I'm very surprised. So Punchline, never heard of. I've heard of the Sakura Succubus, but I've not played it. They are very, very easy, as you can see. That's probably why I've heard of them. It was something I maybe had on a list at some point, but never went to it. Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash is 2 out of 10, 25 hours. We've got Sonic Frontiers, which you've boxed off in 1 day, 13 minutes, which is awesome. Yeah, love Sonic. Played it since I was a kid. Obviously, I'm old enough to remember Sonic when it first became a thing, and I don't know why, and I really should, but I need to. I mean, other than Team Sonic Racing, I don't have a Sonic game on my list. It might be something that I need to kind of get into, because I do really, really like him. I prefer. I did end up with a Nintendo, but I was kind of more Mega Drive before that, and sort of because of that, I ended up favouring Sonic over Mario. So yeah, I've always really, really liked Sonic, but yeah, I need to play some of them. I really, really do. We've got access to quite a few of them, haven't we? They've been given free over time and things like that, so should really, really give it a go. An unbelievable game in South Park, The Fractured But Whole. Very, very funny. I don't even think you need to like South Park in general to enjoy this. You know, it's just so funny. I think if you're a fan of the show, you are going to enjoy it more naturally, because it is just like watching episodes of the show, but with some RPG elements kind of weaved in. But yeah, cool little stories, hilarious. As I've always said, other than I think Deadpool, the game, I've never laughed so much at a video game. It honestly is hilarious, and that also goes for the Stick of Truth as well. So I do recommend you get that on your list. I wouldn't have said it's any more difficult, but there's certainly a few more missable trophies, a few finicky trophies that you need to be mindful of on the first game. But other than that, still relatively easy, and just as funny. You know, it really, really is. It's super fun. You've got, okay, so we've got Spyro and Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. The second Spyro was done on the 6th of February. See, saying that and looking at the days, or maybe he's had a plan to just fly through the 3 of them, but maybe you've just thought, I'll have a break, come back to the 3rd one. But I think definitely, if there's plans for that, make sure you do get it in there, just to see you've got the trilogy done. It's probably the weaker one in the trilogy. However, still a good game. I prefer the first one, but yeah, still decent. Get it on the list, Curtis. You've done Telling Lies, and you've also done the Playroom. We're seeing this. It felt like I'd totally forgotten about it. We never seen it on any list, but then the last few, everyone seems to have it on there, which is cool. The 100% is 0.63. That's quality. Right. So the Playroom VR. obviously haven't played it. I don't need to tell you guys I don't have a VR. I mentioned Concrete Genie enough. Oh, there we go again. Don't put VR trophies in your games. Sorry, I'm back. The 7 Deadly Sins, Knights of Britannia. Another game I haven't played. What can you do? And Titanfall 2, a game I have played, as you guys know that as well. An unbelievable game at that. Certainly one of the kind of best first-person shooters. And a funny little question that some of you can maybe answer in the comments. So, on the back of buying Doom Eternal recently, I was talking to my good pal Alex, you know, MC Sparky23 for you guys in the server. I give him kind of a, using football, you know, terms, start, bench, sell, using Modern Warfare 2, Titanfall 2, Doom Eternal, because I know he loves all 3 of them, and he says, I don't want to play this game. And he couldn't answer. So for those of you who are fans of that kind of genre, those particular games, it'd be interesting to know your picks on those. So yeah, Modern Warfare 2, and I'm meaning the kind of the original one, not the recent Modern Warfare 2. We're going back here to the PS3. So yeah, Modern Warfare 2, Titanfall 2, Doom Eternal. Be interesting to see your thoughts. I think if I had to pick, and it's only because I'm only so far through Doom Eternal at the minute, I would probably start Modern Warfare 2, bench Titanfall 2. Yeah, get myself all muddled up. Yeah, I would start Modern Warfare 2, I would bench Titanfall 2, and I would sell Doom Eternal. It could change by the time I get to the end. I think it's just as much fun as Doom is. It's just a lack of a narrative, really, where I think the other games just become a little bit better. But yeah, be interested to know what you think. Unravel, very, very nice. And I say this every time as well, but a 3 out of 10 for this. You know, you give Just Cause a 6 out of 10 because of just the gears. You know, Goat Simulator gets an increased rating just because of 1 trophy. Whereas this, you know, you've got to do all the levels without dying. It's quite tricky. You know, I don't know if a 3 out of 10 is fair. You know, maybe a 4 at the least. I don't know if it would be a 5, 4, 5. Hopefully you guys agree with me. It should be maybe around there, but I don't think a 3 is fair. You know, it's certainly harder to platinum than Spider-Man, I would say. You know, which is the same rate. And I know it's a completely different type of game, different skill requirements, but yeah, I think it should be more. But yeah, really, really good game. As I talk about that, I haven't done the kind of no death runs, if you like. I didn't really give it a good go, but I should go back in and attempt it. I think I'll have to get it installed and give it another go. And then we're finishing the list off with another game I haven't played, Waifu Impact. So yeah, I can't really talk too much about that one. Apologies again, Curtis, that there's been a few games I haven't been able to touch on that you might have wanted me to explore a little more. But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed kind of looking through this. It's honestly been it's been phenomenal. Right, so going down then, trophy cabinet. So what have we got in there? We've got something from Five Nights at Freddy's, My Hero One's Justice 2, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Nice, very, very nice. It's not often we see, I know Five Nights at Freddy's doesn't have a platinum, but it's rare we see gold trophies go in a cabinet. It's actually quite nice to see. You know, it's often always just platinum, so that's cool. Rarest trophies, as we said at the start of the video, we clocked kind of Infinite Warfare straight away, didn't we, as being the rarest. And then we've got a silver from Minecraft Dungeons, some bronzes there in Infinite Warfare, which doesn't surprise me, and then also the platinum for Black Ops Cold War. And you're rocking 36 ultra rares, which I think is actually really nice, because for the amount of games you've played, I think it's pretty good going, especially, you know, the fact you're not just going out of your way to hunt them. I can tell that from the games that you play. So this is pretty organic, and they're coming naturally. So I'd say that's really, really good going. And I probably should have said at the start of the video, but as you can see, it's a profile that's not very old at all. you know, you might have noticed from the dates next to the games as we were going down anyway that everything was quite recent. But yeah, literally first trophy 6 months ago. So, you know, bravo Curtis, it's a banging profile for kind of the amount of time you've had it. Very, very impressed. I really, really am, and I can't wait to see kind of what else you do with it moving forward, as well as getting it back to, you know, 100% as well, because we've got nothing unobtainable there. So yeah, it's looking really, really nice. It's a cracking profile. Stats then. So average rarity solid at 45.11%. Really, really good that. Considering there's a few on the higher side, you know, 80-90%. It hasn't diluted it too much. So yeah, that's really, really good. That really, really good. And then it seems weird looking at this because of how short the profile is. The last couple we've done where it's been spanning over several years, it's kind of, you know, like a heart rate where it's all over the place. But because it's only 6 months, we've got a nice little graph here. That's cool. I like that. So just starting off nice, picking up a little bit December, and then coming down a little bit, but still doing an amazing job. I mean, the trophies per day speaks volumes, doesn't it? You know, it wouldn't be as high as it was if you weren't getting a kind of a solid amount on that. That's really, really good. Yeah, what a list. Really, really nice. You know, love to see these smaller lists. I've said it before as well. You know, some people are put off by putting their list forward when it's a little smaller, but I honestly encourage it because it does give me that opportunity to talk about specific games a little bit more, maybe delve into the trophies specifically, you know, kind of as and where we can. But yeah, I think it's been cracking. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As usual, I will leave links in the description, so we're going to drop some links to PSN profiles for Curtis's profile if you want to check it out in your own time, as well as my own if you want to see what I'm getting, you know, up to. There'll be links to my socials in there. There'll also be links to the Discord, so come and join. Honestly, it's what a community. Everyone is absolutely amazing. There'll also be a link to my Patreon if you want to offer that further support as well. If you enjoyed it, yeah, drop it a like, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean the world to me. And whatever you're doing, look after yourself, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.